Hello and welcome into a happy Friday. I don't know if it's raining yet. It's beautiful outside. Did it sound like it was raining a minute ago, JP?
A little
bit. Or was
bit.
that just maybe the air?
I think it was the air conditioning, but I went downstairs and it is not raining currently.
Okay, so thank God. Because I was like, it's starting off to be such a pretty day.
Mm-hmm.
How are you?
I'm great. How about you? Go Steelers.
Go Steelers. Not long now. I can't turn off all the sounds, JP. I try so hard. I do. Cheers and thank you for the coffee.
Welcome. I was in the mood for Starbucks breakfast. So I was like, I'll just get some coffee.
Thank you for the coffee. I needed the coffee. Tell me about what you ate at Starbucks for breakfast. Did you get your usual bacon Gouda?
Of course.
Of course you did.
White chocolate mocha. I don't drink much coffee other than black, but I do like Starbucks' mocha, so I'll have that.
That sounds delicious. When you get the white chocolate mocha, do you get whipped cream?
Nah.
You don't. You just white chocolate. A friend of ours on our other show liked white chocolate mocha with whipped cream.
I mean, I'm not bad. I would definitely drink it with whipped cream. Maybe
it's just ridiculous.
Maybe
it's
I try that
over the top.
But I only did pay for yours because I gave the order with both drinks and then I got to the window and he only rang it up for one. So then when he said it was his fault, he didn't get mine. So I only ended up paying for yours and my sandwich. So this one was on Starbucks.
That's so nice. Did you go to the Starbucks right off 280?
Yep.
By me?
The closest one to us, actually.
That one?
Down here, yeah.
Nice. The one that somebody drove a car through?
Yep. Wait, they drove through the Starbucks?
Yeah, not the one by my house. Well, there's one by me.
Another one by you.
And then there's one closer to us.
Yep.
Yeah, last year somebody drove into that Starbucks.
Jeez.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I typically go to the one by you when I'm leaving my apartment because it's on the way, but I was leaving the Camp Sinclair this morning, so I was closer to that one.
So do tell about Camp Sinclair.
It was great. Allison's dogs. I love Allison's dogs. She's got a puppy. I think he's like, well, she got him right after we started. So he's got to be like 8 months old or something. And he is just the sweetest puppy I've ever met. He just wants to do nothing but lick your face and be all over you and jump all over you and run around. There's not a thought going on behind his eyes though, because he's just. And then they got an older dog, Bo, who's also the best. But them two together, they're just so funny and fun. If you pet Bear, Bo gets jealous and gets up and lays on top of Bear. If you pet Bo, Bear will come and jump over Bo so that you have to pet him instead. It's awesome. And then Kitty Bear, of course. I don't think Kitty Bear likes me still. I mean,
I don't. It sounds like she does not like you.
Well, I mean, she comes up and lets me pet her and all, but if I walk up, she gives me a meow as if like, you better not try and change my diaper. You can pet me all you want, but I'm just letting you know. It's still beef if you're trying to change my diaper.
That's funny.
But she just wanted to be outside constantly, so I haven't really had to put a diaper on her. But yeah, she's chilling.
Well, I'm just glad.
They didn't get to go outside much yesterday, Allison told me, because of the rain. So when I got there, I let them run around for about 20 minutes outside, and then we came inside, and they literally wrestled for like an hour straight.
Did they really?
Yes, in the house.
Yeah, see, our dogs, I think it's because I have a male and a female together, and then an older male, and I keep them separated. But I wish that mine would just wrestle and then wrestle themselves to sleep. And I think boy dogs do that better than girl dogs. But who knows?
I got a funny live photo of the dogs last night, and if you hit the live, you can see Bear, the puppy, jumping at me.
Oh my gosh. I mean, Bear's like, hi.
He just constantly jumps.
Hello. That's what the dog is saying. That's funny. Okay. It's Friday. By the way, welcome. Hi, good morning. I'm Amy Beth. He's JP. We're missing a third of our crew. However, we wish her a happy weekend with her family, because you can't get enough time with your family. But we're going to have a Friday, and this Friday involves, number one, the usual word of the day. Then we have the montage. Then we have the Bussy brief at 10:30. And then in the 11 o'clock hour, it's going to be Clown World and any other shenanigans JP and I get ourselves into. And based on our show map for the day, that's a lot of stuff. Like
Yeah, it's
we're talking
jam-packed.
about all the things. I don't know if we're going to get through it all. That's the kind of content we want to bring you. Is we say we don't know if we're going to get there, but we're going to do our best. Here's to all the information and a great day. And JP, are you ready with the word of the day? Good. I knew you would be.
3, 2, 1.
That's so fun. Oh my gosh. Okay. You're going to get this word.
Am I?
Yeah. I just know you are going to get this word. Oh, what? Okay. It's a formal word, JP. It's used to describe something that is impossible to defeat or discourage. They had a blank spirit. Starts with the letter I. Indomitable.
Indomitable.
Yeah.
That's a good word.
Indomitable.
I had a couple come to mind, but not that one.
What were the words coming to your mind?
Like resilient.
Close.
That's
a synonym.
Yeah. Indomitable. That's good.
It's a good word. It's a good word.
I got a good Gen Z word.
I can't wait.
This word means being bitter, annoyed, or resentful, usually over something minor or trivial. If someone is acting overly defensive, cranky, or acting like a sore loser, they are being blank. Starts with an S.
Starts with an S. Sus.
Mm.
Okay. They're being blank. Silly. Stupid. I don't know. I don't know what that means.
Something you put on food.
Okay. Salty.
Salty.
I love that word. Salty.
Example, don't get salty just because I beat you at Mario Kart.
I love it. That's a great word. I'm going to put that word down for a word we shall refer to again. Salty. I love it.
I think, trying to think how I use it with politics. The libs are clearly still salty that Tuberville was granted as a resident from the ALGOP. So they are salty in suing. They're
good.
salty suing.
They are salty suing. Okay, let's see. There were other campaigns this cycle, and some are still salty because they were not the victor.
Yep, that's
good. Okay.
And, if they weren't so salty about people having pet raccoons, maybe they wouldn't be salty because they lost.
So don't lose your indomitable spirit and run again.
Or maybe not.
Or
maybe not. I don't know.
Or
Up to you. But if you do, don't be salty.
It's okay.
Just be, I will say, and I know we're going to talk about with Caitlyn maybe, but I think it is a good sign that so many of the negative acts backfired on candidates this cycle.
This time, and I really love that you put that out there because people were saying it. At first, we thought it was just us because we're here and we're observers. But the more I talked to people leading up to this week, the more people said these were terrible ads and they couldn't wait for it to be over. And they're going to probably vote opposite because the ads were, hey, salty.
Yeah.
But that kind of saltiness went,
how about that?
I mean, it's this. Thank you, JP.
The Pikes.
It's the Pikes, JP.
What even is Pikes?
It's some fancy name. I think it has to do with Pikes Peak because Starbucks is originally from Washington State. And there's Pikes Peak in the distance if you're driving up from Portland up to Seattle. This is what I understand to be true. I could be wrong. I'm wrong every day.
If you're referring to Starbucks' famous Pike Place roast, you can find this smooth, well-rounded Latin American medium roast.
Ask the series if it has to do with their proximity to Pikes Peak. Or is that in Colorado?
Starbucks' Pike Place coffee is named after the historic Pike Place Market in Seattle, Washington.
There.
This
See?
is where the
I
very
was wrong.
first Starbucks store opened its doors in 1971.
Can you ask the Googles, please, what mountain range is near Seattle? Thank you.
Seattle is uniquely bordered by two distinct mountain ranges, the snow-capped Cascade Mountains to the east and the rugged Olympic Mountains to the west.
Okay, then it must be that.
In addition, the Seattle skyline is dramatically anchored to the south by Mount Rainier.
Okay. Because when Wesley and I drove there a couple years ago from Medford, Oregon, we went up to Seattle and there was a beautiful mountain, but clearly Pikes Peak is in Colorado. But that Pike Place Market is fabulous.
I've never been.
It's if you can like step past all of the drug abusers.
Yep.
I didn't know that we stayed one street off the worst street in the city. And you just walk by and you're like, there are tents, there are people in the meth. What's the meth? Like freeze, whatever you call it.
Oh, the fentanyl.
Fentanyl. I was really heard a gun go off. I expected on the news that morning, for them to say, hey, somebody died. Nobody cared.
That's just nuts. Yeah.
Nobody cared. And I hate it that Starbucks is they're still moving to Nashville.
Are they?
I think they are because they're moving their HQ out of Seattle just because of the way the city is being run. But that market, if you can visit it, is very worth it. Lots of shops, restaurants. It's darling.
Yeah, I've never been to the Pacific Northwest. I've been out west, which still, I haven't traveled to a ton of places, but everywhere I've gone west in the United States is still my favorite place. But I've not been to the Pacific Northwest.
It's, they were crazy during COVID. I'll just say that. Extra crazy. But no matter what, cheers and thank you.
Yeah, thanks for the Pikes anyways.
Thank you.
I know you're on drugs, but thanks for the coffee.
Like, seriously, no problem, Bob. All right, what else we got, JP? Do you have a little quick go around for us to... I got a sad story for my yammer, but before that, JP, would you like to introduce our guests to what's next in our quick tour around Alabama news?
You want me to start with Yammer? Is that what you're saying? Okay, well, I guess we can do... Oh, I already know what your story is. I see right there.
Mm-hmm.
We can start with Yammer.
JP, I have a horrible story. A former Alabama all SEC hoops star, according to the headline, and also because my husband told me about it. Mikhail Torrance died at age 37. That is tragic.
Yep.
Awfully tragic. Boy, he could play.
He was before my time, but I definitely know of him for sure.
So it says that he went undrafted in the NBA, but headed overseas and played internationally. He did collapse in August of 2010 during a workout, but it seems he recovered from that. It says he was a resilient person, but wow, I am really sorry to hear about this young man because he is young. You are young at 37. Crimson Tide star Mikhail Torrance. Gone too soon.
Indeed. I got one that was interesting, and we've been talking a lot about Iran. Katie Britt went on Fox and very proudly backed crushing Iran and the president's actions in Iran. She said, look, in my opinion, this is 47 years too late. I'm grateful for the president's leadership. I'm grateful that he's actually holding Iran accountable. It will be good for us, though, to know what those terms are, particularly with regards to nuclear ambitions or lack thereof from Iran. We've heard from the president from the very beginning that he will not allow Iran to enrich uranium, that they will never be able to get a nuclear weapon. Seeing those details, being able to put those in front of Congress will be important so we can be unified in making sure that we take down the greatest threat for terrorism across the globe, and that is Iran.
Okay. I mean, it's, and I know we're talking about it more in the montage. And I know we're going to bring in JD Vance and his conversation. And well, it wasn't a conversation. He's incredible on what he has to say about the whole situation with Israel this morning. But I think she's right. And that is the one thing, regardless of how you feel about Iran, this was 47 years in the making. And it is always painful when somebody is left to clean up other people's messes. You're scapegoated. And I do believe in part that is what's happened, but he handled it. We're kind of a little dubious as to the aspects of the agreement, right, JP?
Mhm.
You know, some of them are like, I don't know what we got out of it. But Katie Britt is right. This was 47 years in the making. And at least he tried. Beyond that, what do you think?
I think this was the MOU, the Memorandum of Understanding, is the best that we could have gotten from the war. But that is exactly why I didn't think we needed to go in the first place, because the risk way outweighed the reward. And really, the reward would have just been a flat out regime change in Iran, which is pretty much impossible to do without boots on the ground. But I do agree with Katie that obviously Iran is the global sponsor of terror, and if we were gonna do something, maybe it should have been done in 47 years ago. I will say I'm noticing the Overton window starting to shift in terms of, well, okay, obviously it's become cool to criticize Israel amongst everybody in mainstream media, or not even just mainstream media, but just media altogether, with talking heads, Tucker Carlson, Candace Owens, but even those on the left. Like in that regard, it's been quite normal since really since October 7th to criticize Israel. Some more extreme than others, but I think it's very, very, very interesting to see JD Vance saying the things that he's saying, because this is the first time this rhetoric has really come from the administration in terms of, and we'll talk about it later in the montage, but we can preview it now of, hey, Israel, because the Israeli cabinet members were going after Trump and this deal, and that he brokered a deal, and they wanted him to keep going further. And just even the vice president saying, hey, Israel, look around. Take a look around. Do you have any other friends except for us? Like, everybody in the world hates you, and we're your only friends. We give you your weapons. We fund you. We worked alongside you in this war. We did the same last summer when we took out their nuclear facilities. How about a change of tone? You know, how you're overplaying your hand a little bit. You're welcome for bringing an end to hostilities, and we're your best. We're the world superpower, and also your only friend. So I think that messaging coming from the vice president himself and the administration is a massive change in tone. And I think it is, I think that will be the central topic for the Republican Party in 2028 for president, because Marco Rubio has been flirted to run, who is the most hawkish member of the administration, I would say, wanted to do the most in Iran. JD Vance is the exact opposite. He's more anti-interventionist. I think Israel and foreign policy, but mainly Israel, will be the central topic for the 2028 presidency on the right. I think we're starting to see JD position himself for that now.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right. And I will save the rest of my comments, except I do wonder, and we can talk about this when we get there, I really do wonder about the people who believe you can never criticize Israel, what they're doing right now, because what JD Vance has to say is 100% spot on. Or are we not allowed to criticize because they're so sacred to some people that even reality is something you have to turn away from because it's Israel? And so I wonder about that. And I know you gave me some insight pre-show about some people who are crashing out, but really and truly, are we not allowed to have this conversation? Or do some people even think this is off limits?
Yeah. I find it, because, JD Vance, there's been some rumors he's not even wanting to run because he's about to have a baby and he wants to be away from family. I don't buy that. I think he will be running, and I think it's going to be him and Rubio. And the main split is going to be sort of Rubio, excuse me, Rubio, the guard of old, the neoconish sort of hawkish way of thinking, and JD Vance kind of the new Republican guard, I guess you could say, of anti-interventionist. So I think we're starting to see, because Rubio kind of looked like the main guy after, even when Trump, that moment at the State of the Union when he pointed him out in the crowd and everybody like lost their mind, like Rubio has been sort of the guy in terms of, yes, Trump, let's do that. Yes, Trump, let's do that. But I think moving forward, I'll be interested to see how that divide sort of take place.
Yep. And I think even as the show unfolds today, there will be more comments even on Twitter, because that is the place to go to find out what's actually going on. But I'm glad to have this conversation. JP, do we have time to play the montage?
Real quick though, we got
what?
Our other third is on the comments. She says hat and coffee kind of day with a heart.
Cheers, my friend. Although I'm not sure if anyway, I'll text you. I have thoughts. Thank God for the coffee. I hope you're having a great cup of coffee or tea, whatever, or an Alani, whatever the case may be,
or a mimosa,
or a monster. What do you got?
Or Fringe 75
for breakfast?
That's
gotta wait. That's gotta wait.
Okay, yeah. If you want to play the montage before Caitlin, I think that's not a bad idea. And then we get to it after.
Hold on, Allison, stay out of the water, okay? Because last week I saw a shark in the water. So, no.
Yikes.
Please stay out of the water. Okay? Okay. All right, JP.
You ready?
I'm ready.
5 for news.
Before the COVID pandemic, Dr. Fauci, as head of the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases, provided millions in U.S. taxpayer dollars to fund dangerous gain-of-function research on bat coronaviruses at the Wuhan Institute of Virology.
What I will say, and this does bother me, is that you have seen people within Bibi's cabinet who have come out and attacked the deal, and in some ways very personally attacked the President of the United States. And I guess my message to them would be twofold. Number one, Donald J. Trump is the only head of state in the entire world who is sympathetic to the nation of Israel at this moment in time. And he happens to be the head of state of the world's superpower.
We'd also like to take a moment to recognize the original inhabitants of the land upon which we are gathered today. We honor the Anishinaabe, the Council of Three Fires, the Ojibwe, the Odawa, and the Potawatomi nations.
Yeah, I think it's really important. I feel like this world would be a lot better place if love and inclusivity was just put first, to live in love, to love somebody regardless of who they like, who they love, and just love them for who they are. I think that's what life is all about. And I want to live a Christ-like life, and to live in love, to live in accepting others, to live a judgment-free life. That's really what you want to do. 70%
of all of the juveniles in the juvenile system come from fatherless homes. When you look at homelessness, right, we're talking about 60-70% of all homeless teens come from fatherless homes. What happens psycho-emotionally to a young man who's raised in a home with a single mother, and how that can actually undermine his interest in marriage in the future.
See what I mean, guys? That's a lot to cover, but it's good content. So we come back, we have the Bussy brief, and then we'll just roll through all of those stories. They're big ones. You do not want to go anywhere. This is The Right Side, and we'll be right back. Welcome back to The Right Side. I am Amy Beth Shaver with Allison Sinclair and JP. We are joined right now by candidate for Lieutenant Governor John Wall. John, how are you?
I'm feeling good. And I say I'm feeling good because I am okay no matter what happens tonight. That's one of the things about being in my position, being an outsider. I love my life, not in politics. But I also love the opportunity to serve the state. So I consider myself a winner either way tonight.
I think that's what is, we were talking about this on the show the other day, and I can't remember if it was after you were on or someone else, but how you really don't want to elect someone that their entire life and happiness rises or falls based on if they win a certain political position. So you have a great life, an interesting life. I'm curious, this life, this side,
I might have to get a pet raccoon after this too, guys. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay.
Well, but we have a question about that.
We do.
Okay.
Somebody suggested on Facebook that we make Charlie our Rightside mascot. And
I'm not opposed to it. Charlie lives.
The-
Okay. Like,
I'm kind of curious if maybe unless you stole the Charlie stuffed animal from one of your nieces, maybe we could adopt Charlie, or we could get his brother.
Get it for you.
I don't know.
Look, I am a guy who likes to make things happen. That's why I want to be lieutenant governor, right? Like I want to make things happen for the state of Alabama. I think I can make that happen for Rightside. Like, let's do
Thank
it.
you.
We would take really good care of him.
As long as I get royalties and, a little bit of kickback. No, I'm kidding.
I'm thinking Charlie hats.
I think Charlie's angels.
Oh. Okay, gotta draw the line somewhere. Okay.
You do have to draw the line.
I'm kidding. I'm showing my age. I joke. Charlie on a hat would be phenomenal. So,
guys, have you seen any of the stuff out on Facebook? But this does not come from my campaign at all. But there's out on Facebook. There's these memes of like jacked up raccoons with butterfly tattoos.
I have.
You've got to be kidding.
Oh no, I'm not kidding. Like there's a whole thing, and somebody said they've already ordered T-shirts and there's like already dozens of them sold. Like no, this is like becoming a whole thing. So yeah, who knows?
I kind of love it. We needed a little levity, and Charlie is like the club. If you know, and you're in it, and if you don't, well, we'll bring you in, but you got to hear the story because it's kind of an awesome story, actually.
We'll bring you in and scar you first by letting you watch one of the worst TV commercials in the history of the world.
A little creepy because Charlie was the size of the door. The proportions were off.
Yeah, he was a large raccoon. No doubt about it.
So are you allowed to even say where you are right now? Have you traversed the state today?
I have traversed the state today. I have been on so many interviews. Started this morning very early on talk radio and just, pounding the pavement one last day. But no, I'm the contrarian. I didn't want to do an election party in Montgomery. Those Montgomery Swamp doesn't like me. Why would I do it there? So I'm at home. Not my house, but I'm in Limestone County. So I'm in Limestone County, a Pryor Field. There's a nice venue here, and we got my friends and my supporters from around the state here gathered with us tonight and hoping and praying for good results.
I love it. I'm curious though, you were chairman of the Republican Party and your election nights looked really differently than they do tonight. How has that been weird?
Yes, it is so different to be, now I will say, I am not your normal party chairman. I'm not your normal, I get emotionally invested in what I work on. I really do. Like I put my whole heart and soul into it. And so as party chairman, as a party would, had our target races, I would get so attached to the candidates and to what was happening. And so they were pretty stressful for me, but you're right. It is a little bit, there's a new intensity level when it's yourself. And you're watching your name and, you're seeing where different counties come in and where things sit for you personally. So it's a different experience, for an outsider like me who's never run for office before. It definitely has been more stressful than I thought it would be. I have a new respect for anyone who chooses to put their name on the ballot and step forward as a candidate.
Agree 100%. There's something that happens when you do run for office. So what would you say after this is all said and done? Do you have a highlight or a favorite memory from this campaign?
Great question. Look, I'm going to be a little bit sappy, which is not my normal MO. My favorite moments of this campaign were the stealing a few moments, whether it was a little, late at night, headed home from a campaign event with Brittany. Because when you're running a statewide campaign, you don't have much time. And she was so supportive. She was always with me, just taking care of me and stuff. And so just those moments with her were really special. And then the other one is the people. Like, I cannot tell you how much you know, you can ask anybody who knows me or Brittany. I feed off of the energy of people. I love to speak to a group. I love to help organize an effort.
Hello and welcome back to the Right Side. I'm Amy Beth. He's JP. Sinclair is out for a couple of days enjoying her family, which is a glorious thing to do. But please don't go get in the water. But you know what time it is? JP, do you know what time it is?
What time is it?
It's Friday. And you know what that means? It's time for the Bussy Brief.
Hi. How are you?
Good. I love your hat.
Oh, thank you. I saw you had your hat on and I was like, oh, thank God it's a hat day. And now you don't have it on.
Well, I needed my hat. Do you ever have those, like, you wash your hair and she just has a mind of her own?
Mm-hmm.
And then I was looking in the lights and I'm like, oh, then it's a shadow.
I know. I was just like,
you look perfect.
Thank you.
And maybe we'll try again, but I had to adjust the lights. I'm like, this is a tragic situation right now. So I need to be able to focus on you. And I love your hat. Are you a hat girl? I love hats.
Yes, I wear a hat a good bit, pretty much.
Yeah.
If it's the weekend, running errands, things like that, I'll be in a hat.
Yeah, it's kind of abnormal that I have so many in my car, but
Yeah.
you don't know what you're going to wear. It's kind of like some people with purses and changing out. Mine's with hats.
Mm-hmm. I love it.
Every eventuality, it's covered because there's a hat in the car and I'm fine. So how are you? If you had a good week?
Yes, it's been busy. Good. Always busy. We're just getting in the groove of things with the generals coming up in November. Pretty much most of the primaries are over. Still waiting on a few, but it's good. Just busy.
I can't even imagine. Oh my word. So speaking of kind of wrapping up this first round and primary runoff, we've had a long discussion about, off and on all week, about the negative ads.
Yeah.
What is your insight from your perspective on that whole subject? Because we were finding people that are like, we are turned off by the negativity, things that would have landed and then they didn't. Like, talk to us about that.
I think it really depends on what state you're in, what your audience is, kind of what you're up against. Like, if you're in a state running as a Republican, that's primarily blue, right? And you're trying to bring light to corruption and fraud and things like that, it's almost necessary. Like, you have to do it. I still think it shouldn't come from the candidate personally, just because I think your message as a candidate should be like, in that scenario, like, I'm bringing change. Ditch the partisan stuff, changes on the ballot. If you like the way things are going here, vote for the Democrat. If you don't, you can vote for me, and you don't have to, identify as a Republican. That's pretty much the only messaging you can use to win in a predominantly blue state. If you're talking about a state like Alabama, where you have ruby red, Republican v. Republican, I mean, it just kind of gets out of hand. And I understand why it's done. And I do also understand being in the heat of a campaign and you're like, I am better fit. Everyone feels like that. Everyone feels like they're the best candidate. Everyone just like wants to tear the other person down. That's just human instincts, I think. But I think a good campaign is one that is ran off of merit and good record and, just run. I think the negative, it's getting to be a little much. I think you should leave it to the PACs to get involved with that and make those ads. If, it happens, it happens. I think it's always going to be like that. But it is getting a little out of hand. If it's necessary and valid and factual, then like, whatever, like, make it. And, people can't get mad if you're going to make a negative ad about negative things they've done. You kind of just have to make them own that record. But I think if you're just, average Joes trying to make it, trying to run for office, both of you guys have the same goal, different ways to get there. There's no need to tear each other down, and you also never know, like, everything's cyclical. You never know when you're going to run into that person again or need them for something. Or if you lose, it's like, hey, I hate that guy because he made all these horrible things about me and made my life a living hell for 9 months. So I'm never going to do you a favor. No. Like, you know what I mean? So I think there's so many cons to it. But unfortunately, I think it'll always be a part of it. It is what it is.
I know you're right. I know it's not going to change. This time it really did get out of hand. And for the first time I had people, because usually you're used to it and they're going to like do their thing. But this time I had people say, you know, I was for a person X. And then the ads kind of started out good and then they went wonky. And I'm like, ooh, I don't know who to vote for now. And so I do hope that we can kind of keep it together, keep it on the issues, keep it for what the person's for. But you're also right. You want to tear down because this is a position of power. It's a position of influence. And I think it matters. And that's the only way we know how to do it.
And it's like, you never, the negativity. I mean, sometimes the candidate themselves doesn't even know what's going out there, especially if it's from a PAC side of something. I mean, there's so many different legalities of it all. Like if you're working on a campaign, on the campaign side, you cannot be involved on the PAC side and make those decisions and run those ads. That's someone else doing it. And you can't communicate about it either. It's illegal. So like, there's really no, like if the PAC is spending money and they're like, oh, this will be good. This is great. And like the campaign's like, what the hell? Like, it's not good. So there's sometimes those things. But you know, I don't think it always should be a direct reflection of the candidate running for office. And, you know, sometimes it is construed that way, unfortunately, but it happens.
That's a great point. That's actually a great point because I don't think that most people recognize that there's a difference between the campaign and the political action committee. They, you know, they don't know. And so I think the more we can help them understand exactly what you've said is a good thing. And then they can better decide, oh, that's not her or that's not him. That's another group saying this. So that's a great point.
And that's also, I mean, there's, I think, a huge lack of transparency. And I don't think it's on purpose. It's just that it's so busy and it is your life until that election is over, working on a campaign, working on a PAC, doing things like that. It's just so easy to forget that, like, hey, the average everyday person has no idea how this works behind the scenes. And like, the more transparency you can bring to it, probably one, makes you seem a lot more human, and two, helps them understand that, like, hey, every little thing that is posted about me or said about me or my candidate isn't coming directly from my mouth and isn't coming, you know what I mean? Different things like that. I think that that's very important to know. And a lot of people don't know that.
Transparency is huge. Can you imagine if we operated that way? Because
we never will, but I wish we will.
Because there's like cloak and dagger to running for office. And I know that's such a like 1900s term, but it is. We're not going to necessarily be transparent, but people would appreciate it if they could be as transparent as possible.
Even
because
like
we don't know everything.
Making people think they're included, or like showing a little bit of behind the scenes. Like, you don't have to show everything. Because, you know, everyone always says, like, everyone loves sausage. No one wants to know how it's made. Totally get it. But it is sometimes necessary.
Yeah, absolutely. 100%. See, thank you for that. You're just like bringing the heat, Caitlin. So, okay, I want to finish in a second, and not even finish, but go to the UFC, wrapping that up, and all the Europeans traveling through America about the World Cup, because it's precious and I'm dying. But
I love it.
I mean, isn't it the best? But quickly, what are your thoughts on Iran and what JD had to say? Can you offer any thoughts in that way?
You know, I think the peace deal is more of like from what I've understand, I haven't read anything, I've very briefly looked at headlines. I think that we're looking at a deal that's basically telling both people to chill for a little bit so we can actually talk. And because we can't talk and have these conversations to move forward when everyone is bombing each other. And like, there are people dying. Like, we can't sit down and try and negotiate, because obviously that takes precedent, and like, you have to deal with that behind the scenes. But I think this is a win-win. I think gas prices are going to come down. I think the market's probably going to benefit from it. And then hopefully we get to a place where, you know, Iran's not going to have any nuclear weapons and there will be some amount of peace. I really don't believe there'll ever be just peace outright in the Middle East. I think that's also biblical. But I think it's a step in the right direction.
Yeah, I agree. I think we're all just watching, because ultimately this has been going on since I was a child. And anything you do to try to clean up the mess from 1978 is better than nothing.
Yes, absolutely. And I think it's time that it's been dealt with. I mean, someone's got to do it. But I think you ask I mean, I don't even know. The average American probably has no idea what's going on. But people, I think, are just sick of it. And they're just ready for it to be over. And let's move on and address issues that are, most important back home. I think like having an America first foreign policy is important. And you have to understand that sometimes includes helping out other nations and things like that to keep America number one. And that people don't understand that, I don't think, but I think President Trump is definitely doing the right things and taking a step in the right direction.
Absolutely. Okay. Speaking of pertinent things that matter to people, the UFC was incredible, and JP followed along closely and gave us his insights about that. It was awesome. So thoughts on that. And then finally, I'm literally dead over all these amazing people like Freddie going through the US. I think he went to an Ella Langley concert last night. Are you following along with all of these fun things? Because thank God something's taking us away from all the campaigning and all the Iraning.
I've never been I guess first we can cover the UFC thing. Yeah. I was actually in California, like in between flying and landing and all the things when it was going on. So I was like kind of out of the loop on it, but the whole drone stuff is so scary. Like the whole plan and the fact that I think our military, our FBI, the Secret Service, I mean, they're at an all-time level of efficiency, I think, just due to the political climate around that they've never been at. The fact that all of that was going on, known about, dealt with, handled, and the event still went off without a hitch is crazy and so impressive. But no, it was a lot of my friends were there and they were like, it was seriously so awesome. So I'm jealous of them, but I wish I got to be there, but I was working, but it's okay.
Yeah, you're kind of busy. So
I know, very busy. But all the people, I've never really been a soccer person. And the FIFA stuff I've been following because of the foreigners coming to America and just loving it. And I'm obsessed with them. I want to get them in ads. I would love to personally trade them out for all these unhappy liberal people. Like line them up. Y'all can switch places. These people love America. They're happy to be here. But I think it is a good reminder. I think it's easy to get pretty bogged down by like the news headlines and all the things. But like America, like we are the best country in the world. And we are so blessed to live here, not have to go through the process of trying to get over here. Thank God there is a process, but we are just so blessed. And it's just a good reminder of that. But I am loving all the content. And it's like one of those things. This is a horrible analogy. I probably shouldn't even say it. But whatever, I've already started. So now I'm just going to have to, but like, this is seriously horrible. But when you come home from like a mission trip and you're like, sell everything. Like you have like a week or two of just like complete humbled, like these people are so happy over there, they have nothing, like sell everything, get rid of everything. That's kind of like, oh my gosh, I'm seeing these people come over here for the first time and like they are just so fascinated and happy by like things that I'm so numb to because it's just normal. And it's just a really good reminder that we are so blessed and lucky to live here.
It's so true. And you're exactly right. You do come home from mission trips and you're like, or I mean, even it doesn't even matter overseas here. And you're like, oh, I should give everything away. And then you're right. You get this reminder that, wait, we live in an incredible country and it's also incredibly beautiful. And to see it through their eyes has been humbling and reinvigorating. But I told JP last week, which is impossible now because Freddie's really famous. I was like, we need Freddie. You're the one, Caitlin. You could get Freddie. We can't get Freddie, but that's okay.
Freddie. I wonder if is he doing press? I haven't even really been keeping up on a day-to-day. I know he's like making his own stuff, but is he going on different shows?
Have you seen him, JP?
I haven't, but I feel like he gets retweeted by a different senator every day. So
yeah, no, people are loving it.
Bravo, Freddie, and all the other ones. Keep it up. And the last thing I'll say is I don't think I realized, because one of the things they mentioned is how they judged America, that they heard one thing from their country and their media and those spin factories. And then they get here and they're like, wait, hold on a second. And so I thought that was fascinating that that's the other part of this
Totally.
whole story.
Totally. And you always hear, and I've never been to Europe, but I've heard from my friends are like, oh, they hate Americans. They hate Americans. They hate Americans. And I'm like, just say you're jealous. Like, I don't get it. I don't understand the whole like hatred. There's not a group of people that come over here and I'm like, ugh, I hate them. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, no, like, and especially living in DC, I feel like there's been numerous occasions, if you're ever walking around on the mall or near the museums or anywhere like that, where people will literally stop you and ask you for directions. And it's so sweet. And like, I just love that people want to visit and learn. Like, you know what I mean? It's just, it's sweet. It's fun. And I think that I hope we have more stuff that brings them here. I'm sure the Olympics will be huge in LA for that too. I think we'll see more content of that coming out, especially with it going so viral. People, you know, everyone wants to be viral nowadays. So, but I like it. It's so sweet.
It is so sweet. Okay. This is incredible. Any last thoughts for us?
I don't think so. I mean, how are y'all celebrating Juneteenth? Anything fun going on?
Oh my gosh, we totally forgot to do that to start the show. Allison took Juneteenth off. That's the real story.
She took Juneteenth off.
I figured she was off celebrating somewhere.
She was. And I think that it is perhaps a great reminder. I was reading Jennifer O'Connell. I don't know if you read her from Red State. She's incredible. But she said, you know what Juneteenth is a perfect reminder of is, yes, things happen, but it's a great opportunity to tie in what Republicans have been doing for a very long time.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, that's a good word. That's a good word on Juneteenth. So
I'm personally just happy to have, you know, a federal holiday off of work. Like, I'm like, whatever.
I mean, that's
call
so
it
nice.
whatever you call it, celebrate whatever. I don't care. I'm here for it.
Yeah. Hey, listen, I mean, I hope that means that you get to chill a little bit today. Maybe.
Yeah, I don't think the word chill will ever be in my schedule until, you know, after November 3rd, maybe a little after that still, but I'll be relaxing a little bit, hopefully.
Okay. That word. I hope you get some time to relax. So, well, Caitlin, as always, thank you for joining us on Friday. Thank you for your insights, and we hope you have a fabulous weekend.
Y'all too. Thank you. I'll see you next week.
Next time. All righty then. Speaking of, we might as well just jump into, I guess, our first story then.
Yeah, let's wrap up this segment talking about it, and then we can keep going on the other side. But
Okay.
the Tulsi Gabbard. So I think today's Tulsi's last day,
Yes.
and she is going out with a bang with the Anthony Fauci declassifications. Let me pull up the video.
Okay.
Give me a couple of seconds. I'll pull up the full minute, or this little excerpt, a minute-long video from her longer one she put up this morning, detailing what she was declassifying. Here, one second. Okay, here's Tulsi Gabbard.
Okay.
Before the COVID pandemic, Dr. Fauci, as head of the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases, provided millions in U.S. taxpayer dollars to fund dangerous gain-of-function research on bat coronaviruses at the Wuhan Institute of Virology, work which is now widely viewed as the source of the unintentional lab leak that sparked the pandemic. Now, in support of President Trump's maximum transparency mandate, today, on my final day as Director of National Intelligence, I'm releasing never-before-seen communications and documents that expose exactly how Fauci worked with politicized career leadership in the intelligence community to suppress the truth about his actions, the virus's lab leak origins, and his role in directing U.S. funding for this dangerous research that caused immeasurable harm and countless lost lives. Now, these documents expose Fauci.
I don't think we realize, and the reason I say this is the devastation that Anthony Fauci single-handedly wreaked, whether you say wreaked havoc, I don't care. He unleashed chaos with what he did, evidenced by the fact that there are still people who are wearing masks. Still to this day, there are still people who want to believe that it was a wet market. They refuse to believe the truth of the whole situation. Still, People in the medical field still believe the lies that he put forth. He is and has been doing horrific things to people all around the globe, really since the AIDS crisis. And if you've read RFK Jr.'s book on Fauci, you will know what I'm talking about. And many of you perhaps have already read that.
Is it The Truth of Anthony Fauci?
Yes, it is unbelievable what he has been allowed to do. And he has been untouched. And then the very idea that he was allowed to go forth and wreak more havoc, unleash more chaos, it is as if hell itself was let loose at his hands between him, Francis Collins, and the buy-in from churches around the globe. Unbelievable. And so I'm deeply grateful that Tulsi Gabbard is putting this all out here. Like, go out with a bang, please, and read the documents, especially those of you that still are wearing masks or think that you're still having to be afraid of COVID, because there's too many people out there like that.
I'm always amazed by those people because you don't see them much here in Alabama, but whenever you go to airports or just on flights and the amount of people that are still wearing masks, it is shocking to me. Yeah, but this is stuff that we were called dangerous conspiracy theorists for in 2020 for saying, and now they're being declassified. And just as a matter of fact, the disappointing part is I don't think anything's going to come from it. Here's the thing with Tulsi, though. She has had some of the biggest bombshells from this entire administration, from the Russia hoax declassification that she put out, pretty much confirming the entire thing was manufactured by the Obama administration. Obama himself actually approved of this that whole misinformation scheme, knowing there was nothing to it. Nothing happened there. Nobody's been arrested from that. But that was one of the biggest bombshells that had been released in the administration before this. And now on her last day, she drops this bombshell. So Tulsi's been doing her job. I don't think anybody is going to be held accountable for it in the Russia part or this one, unfortunately. And it makes you think too. Obviously, Tulsi's husband is suffering from cancer, but I do think there's a part of it where she was kind of pushed out. I think she was put in a corner. I think she was isolated and pushed out of the picture. And I think maybe they were looking for, first of all, Tulsi's in the swampiest of the swamp up there, the intelligence community. So I think people were looking for any reason to push her out. So I think this may be her on the way out. But
I think so.
That's the frustrating part, is that I don't have any hope that anybody's going to be held accountable from it. But regardless, Tulsi, I think, has the two biggest bombshells of this administration so far.
And I think what a good example of a human being, because she just puts it out there. Do with it what you wish. She brings the heat. She brings the evidence and then goes, here, you deal with this. But the idea that people still are unwilling, for example, to acknowledge the Russia hoax. And JP, you and I know people who are completely unwilling to deal with that, even though it's there live and in living color, that it was a giant fraud. And then you're looking at Fauci, and you're looking at COVID, and you're looking at the lies and the perjury he committed. That it is unbelievable, because honestly, the people who died believing that they were vaccinated and they would help themselves or they would follow these steps and be okay. Think about the lives he impacted, millions of families' lives with his lies. And the idea that he may not be prosecuted is reprehensible and unthinkable. I pray to God that the Trump administration, even though they made some massive missteps, will correct the record. And after a fair trial, of course, deal with Anthony Fauci accordingly. That's my hope.
I think on the other side, let's unpack a little bit more what she put out.
Okay.
And then keep going in our montage topics.
All right. We'll be right back.
Fighting for a good cause. And so for me, running a campaign, I love getting out there and talking to the people of the state. I hate working with the politicians, but the people are great, and I just have such a heart. And so that was probably my favorite thing, the chance when I actually got to just sit down or speak to a group and then talk with people afterwards. Getting to know so many more people and getting to speak to so many people across the state was just an incredible experience for me.
Well, John Wall, good luck tonight. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll be watching. I think another batch of votes came in, and hopefully we will know soon how this ends. But have a great night. Try and enjoy it. Take it all in. Deep breath. You know what? Tomorrow the sun will rise.
That's right.
The world will still be spinning, and we will all move forward together.
There you go.
Maybe.
Sounds like a plan. Hey, we really should, as Republicans, we really should all come together.
That's right.
And move forward. Yep.
You're right. Have a great night. Thanks so much.
All right. Absolutely. Good to be on the show.
All
See you.
righty. Bye. They have to be exhausted.
It's just so,
Like at the very least, they get to go to bed and wake up, I hope, without anywhere to go, just for a day, just to chill. I know that's probably impossible, but you feel like you've been hit by a Mack truck when this is all over with. And I can't imagine a statewide race.
you just sleep for days. I don't know if you can, because then you just got to do,
You got to do more.
you got to do all the media hits.
And there's a general in November.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
So
it
the
doesn't,
campaigning doesn't stop if you win. I mean,
it
obviously,
doesn't stop.
in a Republican state, we kind of deem this as the election for the most part, but you still got to campaign, you know?
I think what you would do is do the hits through the weekend and then take a couple of days and then get back into it.
And then if you win, now you got to actually do the job.
Right.
So
That's
it's
right.
never ending.
Yeah, probably being a hard worker matters more than anything else
Mhm.
because it doesn't ever stop. And we have a good crop of people running. And that's what made this so interesting. And I think one of our friends made a note, and I think he's right. It's because we have such good people running that it made it really hard for people to choose. And so perhaps some of the nastiness came in people's trying to differentiate
Mhm.
between one another. I don't know, but it is a good problem to have, but it's also an exhausting problem to have. Because did you all not have people call you and go, what is this group and why are they supporting candidate X?
Yep. I had
And
several.
is that true? It says it's a conservative, blah, blah, blah. And then you have to explain to them about PACs and
Mm.
about money that nobody asked for and push cards that are going out. Like it's a whole thing.
Yeah. Well, there's so many claims that are made in like the ads and the mailers or whatever that us as politicos are like that's ridiculous. But then you'll get texts from family members that see those and go, is this true?
Mhm.
And I it's almost a scary thought, because how many people buy the stuff that John Wall has a pet raccoon the size of a door that talks and then they go like, he was at a Muslim mosque and he did, and you know, with certain things we're just like, okay, that's stupid. And then the non-engaged are like, wait, seriously? And that's the scary part, because they don't work on us, but they work on
Right.
you know, the unengaged.
Mhm.
So
I think next time when we see ads for either side, it doesn't matter because they're Republicans and we are going to have to come together. We should probably do a walk people through the ridiculous campaign ads next time.
I think
point out the lies.
well, and we can, I sent, I don't know if you have the video that I sent in last night, Jared and we were trying to watch the local news or something. We never watch the local news, but the commercials came on, commercial break. It was 4 straight minutes of political ads. It was painful. So I just hit record and we can go through them and we probably need to step through. This would be a good exercise for this week, even though it's too late. How, you know, saying John Wall went to a Muslim mosque. Well, there's some truth in that, but it's not for what you think it's for. So they get away with it by saying that. Yes, it's the way they spin it. So you have to train yourself to think really critically. You know, one of the Jared Hudson ads was that Jared was partnering with Democrats in killing the Save America Act. Jared's not even in the Senate. Jared can't do that. You know, like,
Right.
but people go, oh, he's a Democrat. So, and that's because of his stance on the filibuster, which at some point we need to talk about, because I have really changed my tune on the filibuster, actually.
Hey, maybe we can talk about that tomorrow.
We talk about that tomorrow. Okay. But Susan DuBose is calling in from Catherine Robertson's election night party at 7:50.
Okay.
Do we want to quickly go through our predictions?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Even though
Let's do it.
Let me find
maybe you want
Will's.
to maybe in the break you want to airdrop me the Jared ad because it was blurry when you sent it, and we can play it later.
Or if we're
The-
if you know it's getting serious, if I'm getting books down off of my shelf.
Oh yeah, that means she's for real.
For real. It's going down for real.
It's going down for real.
Hey, that's copyrighted. That means we can't use it, can we?
No.
Could you maybe create a faux version of whatever the title to that song is? Or is it actually It's Going Down for
Yeah,
Real?
it's called It's Going Down for Real. I'm pretty sure.
Love that song. I don't even know what it means, but I love that
I mean,
song.
it's going down. That's what
It's
I
going down. All right. So I found what I was looking for in a couple different areas. All right, look, I've got this bang and she is unruly today. It's a good thing it's Friday. That's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to get my glasses. Let's roll through what Tulsi found. The lady with a backbone of steel. Are you ready for this, JP?
I am.
And you may have something similar, but I, of course, have found that Wall Street Apes has a great breakdown of the things that are in the report. So she confirms that Anthony Fauci funded millions in taxpayer dollars from NIAID for dangerous gain-of-function research on bat coronaviruses at the Wuhan Institute of Virology. This same work is described as the most likely source of the lab leak that started the COVID pandemic. Tulsi Gabbard says Anthony Fauci did this for the interest of big pharma in developing vaccines worth trillions. And if you remember from several years ago, a lot of what happened with COVID started at the one and only University of North Carolina and their lab. And they met in 2019. And they met also before that, I believe in 2017. And they were planning several different options for pandemics. If you look at the date that some of the vaccines were created, noted, whatever, it's been years. So this didn't just happen. This had been being planned for quite some time. And I don't think in Anthony Fauci's arrogance, because he's gotten away with so much for so long, look over to Africa, to the Congo, to the things that he did over there. And it's unbelievable. So Fauci worked with politicized career leadership in the intelligence community to suppress the lab leak origin truth. Then he acted as a behind-the-scenes advisor, pushing the natural animal origin narrative to cover his own role in funding. Intelligence community assessments almost always followed Fauci's recommendations. Fauci promoted a fraudulent paper he helped prompt to publication as legitimate science for IC consideration. I don't know what that means. Senior analysts treated Fauci as an unbiased guide to experts while deliberately silencing dissenting voices. And then it also goes on to confirm that Anthony Fauci lied to Congress in his 2024 testimony. There's newly released correspondence that contradicts sworn testimony. And then Fauci, and it lists this as well. You can read it for yourselves. Go look at Wall Street Apes or just read the document. Anthony Fauci personally saw to it that whistleblowers were silenced and punished. What do we think should happen after a fair trial, of course?
He should never see a free day ever again, to be honest with you. That if we were a serious nation, that's what would happen. But it's not going to.
No. This is not going to happen.
It's just vindication, though.
It is vindication. You know, Allison and I had the opportunity, speaking of the vaccine is the virus is a vaccine. We had the opportunity to see the first blood clots, because one of the first people to whistleblow on clots, because they had never seen them before until the vaccine came out, was a guy in Lower Alabama, just past Troy, and he is an embalmer. And he's like, this is what I'm seeing. He was in a documentary that Allison and I both watched. And so we were able to interview him, and it's unbelievable that way back when we were seeing this, and that was also apparently conspiratorial. Or it's conspiratorial that we were seeing people fall out in grocery stores. You remember seeing all those videos of people like looking like they were seeing things and then they would die? Or the young men, I did an article on it one day, 500 plus young athletes died after being vaccinated. This is unbelievable. And you're right, JP. If we don't hold him accountable, we are not serious. And I expect to be gravely disappointed, but I will be gravely disappointed nonetheless. I mean, look, they looked into our lives. They tried to bully, I know, my husband into getting the vaccine. And he's like, for something that has a 99.97% chance of survival, why would I get a vaccine for that? And look at the harm that it's done. But we experienced that. Y'all experienced that. Now we have a report proving we were right. Our suspicions were correct. I genuinely hope we have the chutzpah. Did you like that? I was like, chutzpah to like really handle a man who's quite diabolical, and Francis Collins right along with him. And can we, for the love of all that's good and holy, because Rick Warren went right along with all this, can we hold him accountable too? Think about all the lies that were told to your pastors and they went along with it.
Yeah.
This wasn't just some innocent man. Oh, haha, I made a mistake. How much money did he make and his buddies make off of this?
Yeah. A lot.
To the tunes of hundreds of millions of dollars.
Yeah. But here's the thing, though, that's disappointing and will make you even more less optimistic that anything will be done, is that, think about it, who was the president that launched Operation Warp Speed and who was the one that worked alongside Fauci? I mean, that was President Trump. So, and he still brags about that Operation Warp Speed from time to time. So I think, truth be told, he may not publicly endorse Fauci because it's not politically advantageous. But I mean, that was under his umbrella. And so I think that may add to the the lower enthusiasm to go after Fauci from President Trump himself. I mean, obviously those in his administration don't, or will at least say that they don't like him. But I think that all taking place under Trump's watch may be one of the reasons why not much gets done in regards to Fauci, because I mean, Trump would have to admit that Operation Warp Speed and all of that was not the greatest and biggest success in the world. And I don't know if he's willing to admit anything that he's done is not that. So that may be part of it as well.
I couldn't agree with you more. It is the biggest mistake he made. And when it came to re-electing him, that is something that we talked about on our old show. And we've talked about it for years. I'm sure you have too, because you had to stop and think, but his policies were more advantageous for our country than any of the Democrats. So it was really no contest. But the way that the non-apologetic Trump could regain some semblance of respect in this area, there's plenty of other areas where he's done good things. This was massive and a giant blunder, and people lost their lives. is for him to hold Fauci accountable and Deborah Birx and the rest of the frauds that made crap up and hurt Americans. This is a big deal. And but I don't know if anything will ever happen. Yeah. So I just depressed myself.
Don't take the black pill. It's okay.
But you're right. I won't go back to black.
Yeah, I think the real story though is, the bombshell itself from Tulsi. Right. And if I had to give Tulsi a grade on her way out in terms of the job she did at DNI, it would definitely be at least an A, because just from the what was the name of the operation, the Russia collusion hoax? It had a name. Crossfire Hurricane.
Crossfire Hurricane.
Yeah, the bombshell with Crossfire Hurricane, and now this with COVID. She's done her job of declassifying. She upheld at her end of the deal in terms of being transparent. It's now the rest of the administration's job to do something with it. But I also think Tulsi was treated unfairly by the administration as a whole because of her anti-interventionist, anti-war, but also she was way outnumbered in the swamp. So I think she did all she can do, which was a great job. So.
I completely agree. I think she did an excellent job. I think when your husband is facing that kind of situation, and I'm sure she knew about it for a while, when you face death or when you face a very precarious situation and life is in the balance, it gives you courage that you perhaps might not have had otherwise. And she's always shown herself to be a courageous individual. But this last step that she's done, going out in a blaze of glory, I could not appreciate her more. So kudos, hats off to you, Tulsi Gabbard, for what you've shown America today, which is true courage. Or yesterday, she released it last night. Mm-hmm. So there you go.
Well, do we want to, you sent me this clip last weekend, and I thought it was a really good topic to discuss. We just haven't had, with the runoffs and everything, we haven't had time to go into it, of the Paige Becker's clip talking about being a inclusive, understanding, loving Christian and what that means. It's kind of right up our alley. Do you want to tackle that to end out the segment?
Why don't we tackle it and get into even more trouble? So this, though, what Paige Beckers has to say, tremendous athlete that she is saying what a lot of people believe. Love is love. I don't judge. Let's see, I wrote it down. Judgment-free, love and inclusivity. Let's just love people for who they are. She said a lot of buzzwords that are culturally acceptable right now. But when she ties the word Christian to that, well, then she's gone off the rails. Because now we see that she's buffeted the Bible and just taking the parts that she likes, which means she's not worshiping God. She's worshiping in the image of herself and her idol. If she were also to follow that up, I'm sure she'd say something like, and this is also culturally acceptable right now, I was born this way. And you know what? She'd be right. We're all born sinners. But this idea that gayness is compatible with Scripture is not true.
Do we want to play the full clip?
Let's play the full clip, and then let's go from there.
I think it's really important. I feel like this world would be a lot better place if love and inclusivity was just put first, to live in love, to love somebody regardless of who they like, who they love, and just love them for who they are. I think that's what life is all about. And I want to live a Christ-like life, and to live in love, to live in accepting others, to live a judgment-free life. That's really what you want to do.
How about JP? Thoughts?
Yeah, it's just the usual squishy, convenient Christianity. That's just not true. And I'll say this. I think the definition of love, if we can define our terms, what love actually means, especially in the Bible, it does not mean compromising what's true and good. It doesn't mean accepting sinful lifestyles. It doesn't mean telling you lies that your sin is okay. Love, what it actually means is to do what's best for the other person, even if they don't like what you're saying, because oftentimes, and I need people around me that tell me tough love too of what I need to hear when I don't want to hear it, but that's what true love is. And it's the same for any sin, not just, being gay or whatever. If you're being selfish, if you're being just egotistical, if you're being any issues you're having, true love is those around you telling you that and helping you to correct course. But you not wanting that is selfish and narcissistic on your end. But that, I think, the term love and acceptance has been twisted into just let me do what I want to do, even if it destroys me, even if it's wrong, even if it's sinful. And that's fine. You can do that all you want, but don't call it Christianity and don't call it love, because it's not. Because true Christianity is acknowledging I am sinful, but I am also trying to help you get out of your sin and to love you and tell you the truth, because I don't want you to live in sin. And that's the other part of it too, is that people like to twist it to where Christians telling or having a stand on what's true and good. People often like to say that Christians, whenever they do that, don't think they're sinful themselves. That's not true. I know I'm just as sinful as everybody in the world, but just as much as I want people to tell me when I'm in sin, I will tell people I love when they're in sin. So letting you do what you want to do and letting you go down that path and destroy yourself is not love. That's just cowardice, and that's not doing the right thing. So I think that is the main foundation that frustrates me with what Paige said, because it's a lot of what people believe in general about Christians and Christianity is that it's judgmental. It's, higher, holier than thou. And there's some Christians that are like that, but that is not Christianity. And when people tell you that what you're doing is wrong, it's not because it's a holier, mightier than thou, and I'm not sinful. It's true love to try to help you get out of your sin. So that is the main. And one last part, the main part of living and the main purpose of life is not to make other people happy. I know that may shock people. That's a big part of it, is to help other people, but making other people happy and feel good is not the purpose of life. The purpose of life is to glorify God and to love other people, which loving other people is not just doing and saying what makes other people happy. It's actually trying to help people.
100% spot on. It's, if anyone wants to follow me, let him take up his cross, deny himself, and follow me. Excellent point on defining the terms of what is love. We know what love is, that he laid down his life for us. It is denying yourself. God denied his very life and died on our behalf. We do not define what love is. We understand what love is because of what Christ did for us. We also know in Romans that it tells us that that God at some point gives people over to their desires. But we're all sinners. We've all fallen short. We do not bless and sanctify pedophilia. That's a sin. It's pretty hideous. We don't bless and sanctify somebody in adultery because you felt like that's just your best way forward. It makes me happy, except for it's wrecking your family's life. We don't bless and sanctify those that haven't recovered from alcoholism or from whatever kind of abuse there is. Like, we could go on and on. The murderer. In every situation, there's going to be involved like repentance and walking in faith. But you have to deny and accept and confess your past before you can move forward. But saying that you're gay and you want to do your best as a Christian is fully incompatible with what the Word of God says. We don't make up what truth is. First, we don't make up what love is. Second, we don't make up what truth is. Objective truth is true 10,000 years in the past and 10,000 years in the future. It's true. And what is true? It is God saying, I am the way, I am the truth, I am the life. And your true freedom is not in abandoning yourself to something that's not going to work for you long term. It may take 50 years for you to know the truth of this. It's not going to work. The freedom for you is in a walk with Christ. There's where true freedom is. It's not walking in your sin. But here's the deal that Rosaria points out in her great book that says homosexuality is normal. For the first time in the history of the world, personal feelings are now believed to be the fount of truth. Romanticism introduced the idea of my personal truth, and with this concept, we lost all standards by which to measure objective truth. And anyone who agrees with my truth is now, or disagrees with my truth, is now a bad actor or an oppressor, not merely someone with whom I disagree. So this is a big deal. If you want to read more about it, because that kind of is the foundation, is what is truth. And Paige Beckers thinks she's following the truth. She is not. And many people that are in Gen Z think that what she says is right, and it's not right. But God is not the oppressor. We tend to oppress ourselves. Is that fair?
Yeah, absolutely. That is the definition of sin.
I mean, we do it to ourselves. We want to blame everybody else. But see, when you come to Christ, the beauty is, and we were reading this morning by a guy named Rush Dooney, that there's comfort as we look in our past. We're not held captive by our past, for those of you who want to move forward, but there's comfort in remembering, because you remember that, wow, this is the way I used to be, but this is who I am now. But you can feel sadness over that. That's freedom. But freedom is not believing lies about what the Bible says about love or about not judging. That the not judging thing, simply untrue. You judge every day. Little J judge, big J judge. That's not true. That's not what that means. But you have to take the whole counsel of Scripture before you toss around a word like, it'd be better if we don't judge. Am I right?
100%.
But all this to say, that's a common lie being put forth from that community, that there is some special carve out. And this is just the way that they are. No, this is the way we all are. But you can choose to deny yourself and follow after God. And He's the one who will set you free. It's not creating your own truth and your own definition of love. It's what does God say about it, and following hard after Him. And you'll be amazed at what happens when you truly do that. That's when you'll be truly free. And that's when you'll see clearly to actually judge. And that's when you'll see clearly to understand what truth actually is. But I saw that this weekend and I thought, oh my word, JP, how often have we heard that said and tossed about?
All the time. Yeah. I mean, I have some people in my family, and I have had friends that were of that lifestyle. And it's just and here's the thing. It is the foundation of every sin, which is just flesh desires and thinking that you know best, and what I want to do is best, and whatever God wants me to do, who cares? God just doesn't want me to be happy. So I don't believe the lie that every sin is equal, but it is of the foundation of every sin. Just like, if I want to, go this weekend and do nothing but get drunk or whatever, like it's the same. I just want to do what I want to do, and it's of the same foundation with this particular topic of LGBTQ and such, of thinking that you know better than God. But again, I think the part that gets twisted is that anybody who says otherwise is not loving, because that's not love. It's just what you want to hear.
Because love is actually telling you the truth.
Yeah.
So, wow. Hard to talk about, but necessary, because it just kind of won't go away. Right?
Mm-hmm.
But when we come back, JP, are we montaging or clown worlding?
We can talk in the break. I mean, we will end with clown world regardless, but
there's so many more things to talk about.
It's true.
All right. And that's what we're going to do on the other side. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. The
Yeah,
one
they
that you
record
sent
on
us,
the-
our
the
group.
anti-Jared ad.
Jared Hudson.
The one you just mentioned that you
was-
sent us
Oh,
in the
it
group
was
chat.
it was a bunch of different ads. It
Oh, it
was
was?
like 6 ads.
Well, only one came through and it was Buries. So what's
What? Why
So, but if we're
blaring?
bored, we can play a Ross Perot ad from the past.
No,
We're not
it
going
was
to. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to do our predictions,
Okay.
but I've already created what we're doing the next election cycle. You heard it here first. Walking you through these ads funded by who knows who they are. We're going to play Spot the Lie.
Spot the lie.
How do you like that? How do you like me now? Spot
How
the lie
about
next time.
Them apples.
Or butter biscuits, whatever you like. All right.
Okay.
Now listen, last time we did play, we did predict, we predicted. We didn't do well.
Gosh, I really have bad handwriting.
I know my handwriting
anybody
is
read
better
this?
than my hand. Oh no, we have about the same handwriting. All right. Okay. Let's go.
All right.
What's he say?
I can't tell. I think we need to choose first.
Okay. I don't want to do that one. I don't know how that's going to go.
Should we can do this? I thought about just doing the spread.
Don't go squirrely on me. Make some predictions.
All right. We're going to make
Okay,
some-
let's do this one.
Okay. I don't want to do that one.
Why not? What are you all scared of?
People?
We're just making your honest. It's not personal. Just honest predictions.
I know, but
Help.
okay. All right.
All right, we're starting
Okay.
at the bottom.
All right. Beaker and Ziegler.
It's terrible. We know everybody. All right, Beaker
This
and
isn't-
Ziegler. This is going to be 55 Ziegler.
Okay. So that would be 32.
JP,
That's 45.
help.
That's 45. I can math.
Okay.
All right. What did Will say? Will said 51 Beaker, 49 Ziegler.
Okay.
Wow.
Look, I'm just throwing numbers out there. Please do not think that the numbers we're throwing out are what we're just throwing numbers out. All right.
Here's the thing that Will, he is, and last time it was maybe halfway through the night. And because we had dinner on the line for whoever won.
Yeah.
And he started, he's like a weird,
He's a savant with numbers.
yes, that's a great way of saying it. He was like, but there's 36% left in precinct 109 of Jefferson County. And therefore that means this is going to, so these are his numbers, his prediction, but he said he wanted to call in later because numbers will start coming in and then he can do its calculations.
His real.
And he will do,
All right.
he'll do his real numbers.
Calculating.
Okay.
All right. So
All right, Hill and McGinnis.
Okay,
McGinnis.
I'm going to give the same number again, but flip it.
Really?
Hill, I'm saying 55. McGinnis, 45. All right. Now I did two. You do them.
Will said Hill.
Will said Hill.
Will said Hill 50.5, which I guess matters.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
All
Sinclair.
right, Robertson and Mitchell. I am going Robertson 60, Mitchell 40.
Okay. What did he say?
Robertson 55, Mitchell 45.
Okay.
Allen and Wall.
I did two. You got to do two.
Okay.
That's going to be close.
These last two are really, really hard.
Really hard and really
Because
close.
I think they're going to be decided between, if there's a 10-point spread, 20-point, it's going to be like 4 or 5 points.
agree 100%. I mean, I'm thinking we're doing like 51-49. Like, I think we're really close on these.
I think Allen wins 53-47.
Okay. What's Ainsworth say?
Wall 52, Allen 48.
Okay.
I wish I had better writing. Hudson Moore.
I don't know.
Could not. I mean,
It's like this to me. That one's, it's going to be tight.
and that's the thing with the I don't know, with the rain in Birmingham and down south. It's almost like whoever wins Huntsville, and I don't really know. I think the rain in Birmingham and the Wiregrass will kind of blunt both their hometown numbers. So I don't know.
So you think perhaps it'll be North Alabama that is the decider? Hello and welcome back. Okay, JP. Apparently, you tell me we have comments.
We do. Let's start first with John on the YouTube. Says Vance is probably the best VP we've ever had. He should be it for 8 more years and then maybe try for the president position. I just don't think he's quite ready, but he is great at what he's doing now.
Agree. He's incredible. I mean, because usually the VP is like a piece of chewed gum, or they're robots. I don't know which is worse. I agree.
George Patton on the Facebook says, our president is working towards peace in the Middle East. Why is Ben Shapiro, Mark Levin, and Bruce Pearl no longer trusting the plan?
Now that, George Patton, is the question. What? Why do you think, JP?
Because they want full-on regime change in Iran, because that's what's best for Israel.
Look, I don't disagree. There needs to be regime change in Iran. I'm watching what is going in and out of there, in part because I'm shocked that the feminists are not speaking up for the women specifically of Iran and the horror and the freak show they've lived through since the late 70s. Honestly, that's part of my interest. But there also has to come a point where the Iranians say, I am probably going to die trying to find my freedom. I don't know how else to get regime change. Sure, it would be good for Israel. But what about the people of Iran who are dying for regime change, regardless of Israel? They don't want what they have. So I don't know where that factors into the whole situation. Okay, Levin. Who else did he say?
Levin, Ben Shapiro, Bruce Pearl.
Like, that's fine. But these are also the same people crashing out over what JD Vance has to say about Israel. And, hey, Israel, who else do you have?
Yeah.
So I can't take them fully seriously on this because they're not dealing with reality. They're angry that the truth is being spoken.
Mm-hmm.
So I can't really help. That's a them problem. Because the whole thing is a mess.
Yeah.
And I'm glad Trump is working for peace, and even more thankful for Vance going, hello, McFly.
Yeah. And here's the thing. If Israel wants to do regime change or have war with Iran, go ahead. But when we get involved and we start a war with Iran and then we broker a deal to end it, and Israel is mad at us for not doing more, that's the part where it's like, I'm sorry. Who's the one subsidizing your entire existence? You know, who's the one who's paying for your missiles? Who's the one that is subsidizing your free healthcare and your free education? Everything in your society, it's from the United States and are subsidizing. But when we broker a deal to do what's best for us and you blatantly sabotage it by bombing Lebanon over and over and over, and then criticizing and smearing Trump for bringing an end to the war, that's where it's like, look around. Nobody is with you except for us. So I would remember that. And you know what? Yeah, if you want to keep going, do whatever, you know, but us, we're done. And we're not going to be smeared and gaslit and guilt tripped for doing what's best for us because we are our own country. So that's the part. It's not like, you know, just remove Israel from the factor. The United States has to do what's best for the United States. So whenever we do that and our ally blatantly sabotages and crashes out whenever we do what's best for us, that's when what JD Vance said is potent of like, hey guys, let's remember who is the only one supporting you here. How about a little bit of gratitude that we even did what we did in Iran? And fine, you go further if you want, but we're done. And we're not going to be told what to do because we're the superpower. We're the United States. So,
man, be interesting to see where this all ends up. But that was bravo. I know I've said that word a lot today, but bravo, JD. Thank you. Thank you.
Bully Bell on the live stream, she said she agrees with John about JD. If he were the one in charge, I really think he could do the job. But right now, as VP, he has to stay in his lane and stay measured.
True.
But she also says, AB, your hair transition is fire.
Thank you. She understands. Appreciate that. Was struggling today. So
I hate bad hair days.
JP, I don't even know, how you do it every day.
Like I got this one part sticking up.
You really, I feel like we need to get a stylist in here for your hair. It's just so out of control.
Like cowlicks are crazy.
Gosh. Bless your heart. All right. So check. And now, before we go to Clown World, the giant, ugly, sort of obelisk, sort of rectangle, hideous. I don't even want to call it a library. It's a center. It could have been created. I don't know, JP. The Obama Center hurts my head. And you know what hurts my head even more? Is that there was another story today while they were complaining and trying to acknowledge whose land they were on. Never mind that we've been sold a bill of good about the Indians. Y'all do know that the Indians had slaves, right?
And we're savages.
They were savages. So there's the myth of the noble savage. So they bought into that lie during that discussion. Never mind that since the beginning of time, lands have been conquered. So there's that. This is the way that human history goes. But apparently we want a special carve out for the U.S. And so they're complaining, why didn't you just not build a center in the first place if you felt that way? Hey, huh? But number two, you're not paying the people who built it. There was a story on Fox this morning. I don't know if you saw it. But to the tune of millions of dollars, contractors have not been paid for the hideous, what does that building look like? It looks like the statues on Ellis or Easter Island.
Literally.
Just right there in Chicago.
And it says something in the top right.
Something weird.
See.
I tried to read it today. At first I looked at it and I was like, oh, that's saying something. And then I'm like, I'm not even going to read it. JP.
Okay, here's the quote. Wait, no, that's Obama's quote about it. Okay. I found the quote on the building. It says, let's see. You are America. Oh, wait, I can't read it here. Okay, here it is. You are America, unconstrained by habit and convention, unencumbered by what is, ready to seize what ought to be. For everywhere in this country, there are first steps to be taken. There is new ground to cover. There are more bridges to be crossed. America is not the project of any one person. The single most powerful word in our democracy is the word we. We the people. We shall overcome. Yes, we can. That word is owned by no one. It belongs to everyone. Oh, what a glorious task we are given to continually try to improve this great nation of ours. President Barack Obama, 2015.
That's cute. It sounds awfully communist.
Yeah, it does. We.
We, democracy, that's very much shaded. with communist thought.
By the way, did you see the interview with Barack and Michelle?
Oh my gosh, I wrote that down.
What Michelle said?
Oh,
Here, I'm gonna find the
so
clip.
weird.
I'm gonna find the clip while you.
I almost couldn't watch it. It was so awkward. So awkward. Oh my word. Yeah, that's so funny. Same brain. I wrote down giant all caps awkward Barack and Michelle. That's what did y'all see it? Friends, did y'all see the interview? I just went, ooh. And I even had a cup of coffee in my hand, which generally makes me very happy. I was unhappy watching this.
Here's the video.
One word to describe your next chapter. One word.
Fun.
Me. That's what you call drop the mic.
You know what? You seem to be grading her higher on her answer.
One word to describe your next chapter. Oh, fun. Me. All about me.
At least she's saying it publicly.
Somebody retweeted and said, as much as I hate Obama, I'm deeply satisfied that he's married to someone like that and has to deal with that every day.
Can you imagine?
No, I don't want to.
I mean, they are 100 millionaires telling us generally how much America stinks, how much we stink. And they try to make themselves, I mean, even clips of her podcast, we haven't even gone back to talk about those in the last couple of months. It's painful to listen, but they have made bank off of grievance and victimhood. And what a poor example to complain about all that you have and then act like that. I got nothing for them. The ugly building suits them. And the awkwardness, not only, what's your next chapter? Me. Then they ask her what what free time looked like. She's like, well, all your free time goes to golf. Hey, Michelle, he plays golf because of you. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I've never seen anybody with more opportunity complain more and be completely unaware she is the problem. I just also, lastly, to see Joe Biden, no mental difficulties at all, America, be lost on the stage at this point is cruel and unusual.
Was he lost on the stage?
Lost on the stage. Just nothing. Nothing there. Nothing. His people hate him. It's like when they put Jimmy Carter out like the day before he died because he wanted to vote for Kamala Harris. Out under the tree and he already looked dead. That's what that looked like yesterday.
Hold on. I got a video
You got to see it.
of him appearing lost on the stage. So it's Obama. It's like Joe, and I guess Joe's saying, "Where's my granddaughter?"
Yeah, I want to sit there.
What is he doing?
He doesn't know. What is that?
What is he doing? Somebody grab him.
Nobody has
my
him.
granddaughter.
We love you.
They're zooming out.
Yeah, absolutely. He doesn't know where to go. And all the celebrities up there singing stupid songs. Obama said he was going to fundamentally transform America, and he did it by sowing division and sowing deceit, planting lies. I do not ever want to see another clip. JP, I'll have to hide if we ever have to play another clip of that.
Of Michelle.
Michelle, Barack, any of them. I can't.
You know, I'm ashamed to have the same birthday as Michelle Obama.
Oh, I'm so sorry you told me that. Really? Your birthday's the same?
Yeah. I mean, I got cool. I got really cool birthdays to outnumber it, but the one is Michelle Obama.
I'm sorry.
Muhammad Ali, Benjamin Franklin,
Oh, okay.
RFK Jr.
Well, you can't help the day you were born.
Michelle Obama.
You can't help that day. But okay, well, now that we're thoroughly disappointed and sad, we're not really. We're kidding. We always have a good time. The undercurrent is we all know how this is going to end eventually. So, anywho.
But we're going to cheer ourselves up.
We are with Clown World.
What's up, y'all? Breaking news, we're live right here on your side. A car has submerged in the water. We got scuba divers in the water. A car has fully submerged. I don't know how this car got here.
It said go to the right.
It can't mean that. There's a lake there. I think it knows where it is going. The machine knows. This is the lake. Stop yelling at me. No, it's not yelling. There's no road here.
So I'm angry I got fired from Popeyes for using the women's restroom. Me. What?
Hey, pal. You just blowing from Stupid Town?
I know he's old, but I think we need to Kirk Donald Trump. Am I allowed to say that? Am I allowed to say we should all rally together as a country and Kirk Donald Trump? Kirk every pedophile in our government, Kirk Stephen Miller especially, and Kirk every single ICE agent. Am I allowed to say that?
Stop it. Get some help.
Trigger warning, this is a unfriendly review of Pool Boy. I really thought I wasn't going to like this place because I'm just over kind of white restaurant culture here in the Valley. I think the food quality isn't that great. And white culture in general in the US is giving racism, misogyny, and pedophilia these days.
Boy, that escalated quickly.
If you're an ICE agent, you need to die. If you support ICE agents, you need to die. If you support the president, you need to die. 100%, and I mean this.
What?
JP. All right.
Well, let's start at the beginning. If y'all missed it, a car drove into a pond off of 280 in Birmingham yesterday. And that first video was, I think her name was China Davis on TikTok.
I love her so.
She went live on the scene to report it. But that was the scene yesterday.
Listen, if it weren't raining, I may have gone out to do the same thing. But I love China. And I know half the stuff we can't play because, she kind of goes off. That was spectacular. Like her ability to just lay down on the sidewalk. I love the bonnet she had on and her robe. Who doesn't want to get their news from China?
Maybe we should hire her.
Could we?
Should hire her to be
and just tell her to keep it PG-13.
Yeah.
But if we were to have reports maybe at the beginning of the week from China, she's a hoot.
China Davis live on the scene from Rightside Media.
Why not? Let's ask. What do we have to lose?
That'd be fun.
Okay, I would love it. We still don't know what happened. We're very thankful still. I did drive by just as the car was coming out of the water and was being loaded onto the wheel wrecker truck. It was very banged up. So we'll wait over the weekend to find out. It looks, we have heard allegedly there was a medical situation. Mm-hmm. We don't know. We're very glad they were okay. But wow, that's not something you see very often. So that's numero uno. Fired for being trans. Mm-hmm. How about you were fired for being a man going into a woman's bathroom?
I love how he tried to show how much he actually thinks he looks like a girl to justify. I'm sorry.
No, you're a dude. You're a dude. I don't know if you stuffed your bra. I don't understand what you've done. You're a dude. And clearly somebody complained because you must still be intact.
Yeah.
Because how else? Well, obviously he's a man because he's going to be taller than the women. So there's that. If you are a man parading as a woman, trying to tell women you can be a better woman than women, I got nothing for you. Also, you cannot become a woman.
Yeah.
Go Popeyes.
I got fired from Popeyes for being trans. No, I got fired. You got fired from Popeyes for having a thing between your legs and going into the women's restroom.
Like, see, that's the thing. Like, that culture makes it all about them.
Yeah.
And then gaslights it to make it about us. No, it's about you, hun.
Constantly being the victim.
That's a you problem. You made these choices. We did not. But we don't have to accept them. That's just the way it goes.
And then the guy that says we need to kirk Donald Trump.
Could we sit here for a second? Because pedophile? Are we not done with this lie either?
Yeah, let's
Stupid down. I know he's old, but I think we need to kirk Donald Trump. Am I allowed to say that? Am I allowed to say we should all rally together as a country and kirk Donald Trump? Kirk every pedophile in our government, kirk Stephen Miller especially, and kirk every single ICE agent. Am I allowed to say that?
Am I allowed to say that?
Do you think he's being arrested?
Yeah, you're not
as we
allowed to
speak?
say we should murder the president, actually. No,
Because
you're not.
freedom of speech does have limits, and you're not allowed to do that.
You're not allowed to threaten the president of the United States. I'm sorry.
Seriously, do you think the FBI will on his door later today?
I hope so.
Deserves it.
Yeah.
Can you remind our gentle listeners and viewers, where did the pedophilia lie come from? Because they wanted to arrest all the pedophiles. They've told so many lies, I can't even keep up with this one. Was this the one about E. Jean Carroll that she now says, basically she's lying? We knew that. But seriously, JP, where did the pedophile lie come from?
Oh, they're still on the fact that they think he's an Epstein pedophile. They think that, they believe that because mainstream media has told them that.
Thank you. See, I know about Epstein. I forgot that they include him with that, even though he was the one who was friends with him, then found out what he was about, and then called the popo on him. Trump was one of the reasons why Epstein was arrested in the first place in Florida. But we got JP. We can't talk about that part.
And yeah, and I wish the administration handled the Epstein files better, but I don't think that Trump himself was a pedophile because there's no evidence to show that.
No.
There's not a single thread of evidence in the files that show he did anything. Actually, on the contrary, Epstein was mad that Trump did what he did and was working against him. He was texting with Democratic members of Congress trying to give them dirt on Trump during testifying, like during hearings. And there was a report also that he wanted to give judges dirt on Trump, but he didn't have any. So he actually was very upset at Trump for what he did. So there's no evidence to show that Trump himself was a pedophile. But the mainstream media and all the liars say that. And that's why people say we should murder the president because he's a pedophile. That's where the rhetoric gets. And not just the president, but Stephen Miller and every single ICE agent. Also because of mainstream media.
I mean, when your sacrament for entry to become a progressive is abortion, life has no meaning. So who cares if you toss around this idea that you should kill the president and anybody associated with him? I hope the FBI is already there.
Yeah, me too.
All right. And then finally.
Wait.
No, not finally.
We got to replay what this lady said white culture.
Okay.
means.
White culture, misogyny. It's giving. Is she white?
Probably.
She sounds like a white Valley girl.
She does.
Ironic. No.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. Can you play that clip?
Racism, misogyny, and pedophilia these days.
Racism, misogyny, and pedophilia
in the U.S. is giving culture in general in the U.S. The Valley. I think the food quality isn't that great, and white culture in general in the U.S. is giving racism, misogyny, and pedophilia these days.
I have a question for the people claiming racism and misogyny. It's giving like white culture. It's giving that. How are they building culture? because they're making everybody be just like them, miserable, and going in. Why are you, as a white person, even going into a white restaurant and giving like racism and misogyny, like even giving it a name? Like, what is your problem? How are you going to improve this country? I'm just asking.
That's true.
I mean, I'm just asking. It's ridiculous.
Just on its surface of racism, misogyny, and pedophilia. Just for being white.
Just friendly. The only person who can make you hate yourself as much as you do is the enemy of your soul, not the king of the universe.
That's true.
So the information you are receiving is filtered through the wrong lens. And I'm sorry for you. Finally, killing ICE.
Yeah, it's kind of relates to the other guy.
So we're still killing ICE. Like, we're still killing everybody. So we're supposed to live with whatever you guys come up with, but also you guys want to kill everybody. And we're just supposed to, because we deserve it. I don't know, JP.
Yeah,
but there's no truth.
Yeah.
So how do you know if somebody deserves something if there is no standard of truth at all?
And no standard of morality.
Y'all confuse me.
Yeah.
I'm confused.
And it wasn't even ICE agents. It was anybody who supports ICE or supports the president needs to die too.
That makes sense.
I mean, they just kill their babies without any sort of remorse either. So death doesn't mean much to them.
No. We do what we want. All right, cute. That was so depressing, but a really good clown world, JP.
Thank you.
That was the best clip, perhaps, of absurdity you've ever put together. Thanks. That was absurd. And how do we meet absurdity? With absurdity. It's called satire. Satire. The jagged edge. All right, JP. So, are you you got any good plans at Camp Sinclair for the weekend? Are you going to wash clothes or use their super speedy dryer?
I use their dryer.
Kind of my dream.
Okay. I use their steam refresh option on their dryer this morning because that's like, it just gets all the wrinkles out so quickly. So yeah. I don't know, may fish, hang out with the dogs.
That'll be fun. Fish, like what kind of fish would you get out of the pond?
Oh, bass. My dad caught a couple of bass when he was fishing there.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, that sounds like a great weekend.
And walk the dogs. I hope it's not raining all weekend. That would stink.
That would really stink.
Is it supposed to?
I don't know. My husband is the weatherman. I wake up and I'm like, oh, look, it's raining. Okay.
Oh, I think it is supposed to rain tomorrow.
Well, it is Father's Day weekend. And I think we'll do some hanging out with the fathers this weekend. That'll be fun.
That's true.
Perhaps we'll try to watch a good movie tonight. For my friends from the 1900s, Towering Inferno was on this weekend. And I may have to go back and watch it. It's so awful. I think it's from the 70s. But it's got a blockbuster cast. I may have to go watch it. It's really bad, though. I like Saturday afternoons for old movies, like really old movies.
Especially when it's raining.
When it's raining, it's kind of perfect. Get a book, watch a movie. The afternoon is complete.
It's true.
This is how I see things. Okay. And finally, it's time for Would You Rather.
That it is. Would you rather give up all sugary foods or give up ever eating salt again?
I could live without salt.
Really?
Yeah. But could I live without all sugar? I mean, that means chocolate chip cookies, sugar cookies, birthday cake, ice cream from Culver's with cookie dough in it.
Yeah, I was leaning giving up sugary foods, but you just convinced me with those. So I guess I'll give up
this
salt.
is we need sugar. You can live without salt.
Yeah, I guess maybe.
Yeah, we'll try. You know what? Should we try it one day next week when we're doing the podcast with my friend Bobby, who's in health and wellness? He's probably going to tell us how bad sugar is. I know it, but I've refused to acknowledge it. All right. Anything else? Any other would you rather?
Trying to pick between these. Oh, would you rather give up cheese forever or give up chocolate forever?
Oh, cheese. My goodness, I was born in Hershey, PA.
Would you rather eat pizza for breakfast every morning or pancakes every night for dinner?
Can I have both? It's not a both and, is it?
No, it's not.
Pizza for breakfast.
Yeah, me too.
Because then you could kind of load up and then work the food off throughout the day.
Yeah.
Pizza at night. Always a good idea, but it's heavy. Is that good?
That's good.
Okay. All right, you guys, we hope you have a glorious weekend. Oh, by the way, on Monday, we get to attend a very special ceremony. We will not be here. JP, you might want to tell them what we're doing, but we will be back Tuesday. We'll have a blockbuster week for you next week. We cannot wait. But until then, we hope you have a fabulous weekend and stay on the right side.